Today we'll be discussing the beginning of becoming a foster parent. Hi, my name's Travis. Welcome to my channel. If you stick around to the end, I will give you some of the requirements that come along with being a foster parent as well. So let's get started. When you first become a foster parent, it's going to be different than it was before because you're adding a person to your household, to your family. So just keep in mind that the difference is going to come and you're going to feel different about things, but it will get better at time as long as the person stays there and long as you continue to have the person in foster care. Because as you know, in foster care, somebody could be with you and then 2 months later they become adopted. And once they become adopted, then they go to another family. So if you're a foster care parent that's not necessarily interested in adopting at first, that could change for you as you get to know the child and as you get to learn the ropes and the benefits that come along with, taking care of somebody and being selfless and taking care of someone that's actually not yours and you're doing something out of love. So anybody that's a foster parent, I want to give a shout out right now for even doing that. You know what I mean? At first you can feel isolated as a foster parent, because you'll have friends and other people that's looking from in the back that don't understand, well, why are they doing that? Why are they bringing that person into their home? I would never do that. Or what's the reason? Are they doing it for money? Or are they doing it for, they have other kids? Why are they? A lot of people don't understand, but no one on the outside should be allowed to tell you what your household should look like anyway. So whatever you do in your household is up to you. And if they're your friends, they will be supportive of you, even if they're not supportive of the decision for you to become a foster parent. Waiting on that placement call, once you become on the list, and once you do the things you need to do that we'll discuss at the end to become a foster parent, and once you're on that placement list, then that's a hard period, because every time the phone rings, if it's an unknown caller, if it's not somebody you know, you think it's that call saying, hey, we got the person that you were looking for. We got your person for you. We got a child for you. Because you do have the right to choose, what type of child you want, gender, what age child you want, and things of that nature. And if that's what you do, that's when they'll choose. They'll tell you when they have that type of child available for you. A lot of fears are going to come along with making this decision, making this choice to be a foster parent, especially if you have other children or a husband or a wife or things like that, because you're incorporating someone else that doesn't know you or them into your family. And one of the things that I don't hear mentioned a lot, but I think it's important because I worked in foster care, is how the children that you already have feel about you bringing a child into foster care and into their home. Because sometimes we got to make sure that those children don't feel neglected, because the immediate focus is going to be on that child that you're trying to get established in your home. So I just wanted to bring that point up, because I talked to a lot of kids when I was doing foster care that used to tell me how they felt, how the other kids that were in the house felt about them because they were coming in there, living in their home. Because at the end of the day, they had feelings too. You know what I mean? So let's talk about some of the things that you need to have in order to become a foster parent. First of all, you have to be 21 years of age or older. You have to have a room for that person. You have to pass an inspection that they'll come in and inspect your home, do a home study. Make sure you got child locks. Make sure you keep your medicines locked up. If you have any firearms or anything like that, they're definitely safe and secure. Make sure you have smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, deadbolt locks, things of that nature that they're going to make sure, because anywhere they put a child, they want to make sure that that child's going to be safe. And it might seem a bit intrusive when they come in your house to do this, but that's what they have to do. When my son was taken away from me by his mother and he was in another state, I had to go through a home study process at my house for him to be released to me. And I felt that was very intrusive. I was like, what did I do? Why am I having to go? And they run all of that stuff. They did fingerprint checking. They do all of those things. Anybody in your house that's 13 years or older is subject to a background check or a fingerprint. Because they have to make sure that the child that they're bringing in there is not around people that shouldn't be around children. So they have to make sure of that by this process. And it is a long drawn out process, but they have to make sure of that. And then most importantly, they offer a 30-hour training. Different states may vary, but in the state of Pennsylvania and in the state of Virginia, I know they offer a 30-hour training that tells you a lot of the things about foster parenting, the do's and don'ts, how important it is to have confidentiality and don't just go running around talking about that child to other people. You got to make sure you stay in the guidelines of what you're supposed to do and not get in violation, because in a violation, they could take that child back away from you for violating the code, violating the rules that they have set in place. So that 30-hour training goes over all of those things with you, so that once that child comes there is no excuses. So if you want to become a foster parent, just make sure you research it and check everything out and make sure your house and everything is prepared for it before that process happens. Because once you put your name on that placement list, the next day they can call you and say, we got somebody. So just be prepared. And hats off to anybody that even wants to do that. And like I said, I tip my hat to anybody that's a foster parent, that's even thinking about becoming a foster parent. And certainly people that decide after being a foster parent to adopt the children, because they need love, and they need a lot of things that we could give them that they were not getting. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you later.